Hi, everybody. We are in my crafting studio, and I am excited to show you the brand new Scenic Coast. This one is, I just found out, is currently out of stock, but you guys are going to love this, and it should be back very, very quickly. My name is Jalen Lionel with Crafty Girl Creations, and as you can tell on the screen, is my name and my business and my store with Stampin' Up. And you could always go to those with the description item numbers if you are interested in picking up any of the items you see during our lives. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to get right to work because this is the card that is absolute. The paper does the work for you. I love focusing on simple cards that are beautiful, and because anybody could be you can make your own cards and do it very simply and very inexpensively if that's all you're doing is just making cards. You know, there's so much more you can do, but I don't want anybody to feel like oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. The price of cards these days is, I mean, literally highway robbery. And I've learned to just do it myself because I could send a really pretty card and get, I think, much more out of it than a flat piece. So, anybody could go to the dollar store and get a flat piece. And that's okay if that's what you want to do, but that's just not what I chose to do. So today we are going to work with the Scenic Coast. And let me tell you, when I tell you this paper is beautiful, I can't even switch my screen before I show you just how gorgeous. Do you see that foil? That shine? There we go. Look at that. This is 48 pages. There are, I think I counted 6 different. Here's a different one. And it's just got a different, oops, I was trying to get my angles. There we go. It's got more of a, there it goes. There we go. You can see that foiling. Oh, I'm terrible at this. I got to get better at that. But that's that one. And this one is moody, but it's got the blue foiling through the water. Or the orange foiling through the water, but with the blue up against it, it looks really gorgeous. And then you got this one, a little bit more on the light blue side, lighter blue side. And I think I missed one. Yes, I did. Yeah, purple. I knew I missed the purple. You guys know, see, purple. You know me. Purple's my thing. Purple's my jam. But that one's got that shimmer too. So now the best thing about these is on the back, you have all water. Just plain and simple water, but it's just gorgeous. So the colors in this are absolutely fabulous. And I've chosen a couple of them to use. And I've chosen a book binding. We've not done a book binding yet. So we're going to do a book binding card, and I think I'm going to do 4. You're thinking she's never going to get 4 done in the time she does 1. Oh, yes, we will. You just watch and see. All righty. So we are going to switch on over to our other camera. There we go. And what I've done is I've kind of almost put one together, but I just wanted to make sure I had my measurements right on everything before we did this. And I know my camera's jumping around. It's like doing crazy stuff again. Come on, crazy. I know I'm crazy, but you don't have to be too. Come on, up here. Up here. All right, if you won't move, I'll move you. Maybe. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong with that, but give me a second, guys. I keep trying to. There we go. I think maybe if I lean up a little bit, it keeps it from doing that. Okay. I'm a learning. All this video stuff was new to me. So what I've done is I've taken cardstock in Highland Heather and Balmy Blue. This was the normal 8.5 by 11 sheet. and I've cut it in half, and then we scored it in the middle at 4 1/4, just like we do for a normal, that we do for a normal card. So I did do that already. And then when you've got that scored in the middle, all you do is come 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left and score your other one. So we're going to go ahead and do this one by itself. Let's see, 4 1/4. There we go. And I'm watching my feed over here. And on 1 second, one thing I want to make sure I do in case anybody's asking questions. Nope, not yet. Okay. Is to make sure, there we go, that I'm there to answer it. So we want 4 1/4 first. Okay, that's 4 1/4. And what I tend to do is I will come down here and on the middle where you've got the same one you do up here at the top. And I will just eyeball line that up. This is one of those things that doesn't have to be perfect. Eyeball line it up. Do one there. And then you could go over here to the other side. Put that one in the center. Move that center one now, that 4 1/4 mark, over to the 1 inch. This could also be considered what we call a fun fold too. And then that one's ready to go. Now the great thing about cardstock with Stampin' Up! Is you can do 3 pieces of DSP and 2 pieces of cardstock at the same time. But I wanted to make sure, like I said, I had the measurements right at 4 1/4 and then 1 inch on each side. And that's going to be for a very important reason. So now we got our 4 1/4. And you just got to move them together. I'm going to the right first, just because that's just where I chose to go. It doesn't matter which way you go, just as long as you do both of them. And then get your bone folder, and I don't see my bone folder, but that's okay. I can make it happen. Oh, I see it. I just moved it. I got to learn to leave things where they belong. Okay. And the reason being is when you do 2 at a time like this, that bottom one's not going to be as deep. So we'll go ahead and start with that one. And there. Didn't do too bad. So we're going to leave this out because I do want to we're going to do more with these. I just want to get these cards bases done first. This is such an easy card to make. And what you want to do is you want to just bend the other ones back. That's why I think it's called a fun part. But I think it's a fun fold too, because you're still folding paper in different ways you wouldn't normally. So do that one in the middle. This card, the reason why this is what I started to say, the reason why you could make so many at one time is it's simple. It's a very simple folding process, and you're only using paper. You know, you're not having to do a whole lot of stamping. So whether you are that one I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Whether you are a stampy person or whether you're not, whether you are a person that, there we go. I'll do it all together. That likes to color. Some people like to just do layers in paper. And that's what I was thinking that I was kind of leading with today. So there, now that we got our card bases set up, we'll set those aside. And I took one already. And this is how it was together. Oops, let me get that out of the way so you could see. Okay, that was the whole sheet together. And I took 3/4 off the bottom, and then you get two 3" by 5 1/4. Well, you know that normally we do 3" or I'm sorry, 4" by 5 1/4 for a whole card front. Okay. For a whole card front, it would be 3.5 by 5 1/4, or sorry, not 3.5, 4 by 5 1/4. But 4 this way, 5 1/4 this way. And that would give you that border around the edge. Well, since we made this fun fold, or we did the fun fold here, we're going to put this right on that half. I chose these two colors because the blue, I love purple, period. You know that. So purple was a given that picture. You could have used daffodil yellow. You could have used coral, calypso coral. You could have used um, secret sea in here. You know, blueberry bushel might have even worked with some of the blues. But just see what looks best to you, and you put in what color you want. So right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this to the front. This way you'll get to see the backs too, because that would make a really pretty card. But you only have 48 sheets, so it's not like you won't be able to do that. I think they were only $17 for 48 sheets. You could make a lot of cards. Like I said, it is currently out of stock. I got mine for free. How did you do that, Jay? I got mine for free when I went to, let's see here. I got mine for free when I went to convention. So let's go ahead and pull over the blue one now. And you see I used this one because the purple still goes with it, but it pulls in the picture differently because there's more of the light blue. Okay. Yep, there it is. And we'll put this one on. And then I'll show you with the other two cards exactly how I cut it. I know we've talked about it, but sometimes people are visual. Oopsie. I love my glue. You could reposition quickly. See? It's fine. So the other one I chose, was it that one? No, it's this one, I think. Hold on. I got them mixed up when I was showing you. There we go. That's the other one I chose. So we're going to use this one now. We'll set those aside. And we're going to cut that 3/4 inch. And again, you could use this side. And I'm going to go to that 3/4 mark at the bottom. Oops. There we go. Alrighty. And then to the 3" mark, and so you see how one you've got that's more purpley and one's that now this one's got more purple and that one's got less purple. You know exactly where I'm going with that, don't you? We're going to take this one. See, that's got the yellow water on the back. That could make just a real artsy-fartsy card. I like that one. Yes, I say artsy-fartsy, because I am artsy-fartsy. I even have a t-shirt that says it. Let's see. Again, we're just going to set this right up here on top. And that balmy blue just looks gorgeous on this Highland Heather. And then for the last one, let's see here. Let's get that up there. And something else I want to mention is if you have ever thought about, if you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up, as a crafter, you are more than welcome. As a crafter, it's still, you pay the $99 for the kit, and it's only $100 a month that you need to have in order to do the to qualify for quarterly, because it's a $300 quarterly, not monthly, quarterly. So if you and a friend of yours that craft together, what were to do this together, everybody goes through consumables, and what that is like dimensional dots, cardstock, glue, and that alone you cover. So it's not something you get 20 to 25%. And right now you can get up to $160 worth of free product, including the 5 new in colors if you want. That's a $63 value. So you get $99 plus $125. You pay $99, you get $125 plus $35 if you don't take the in colors. So, but if you take the in colors, it brings it up to a total of $160 merchandise that you're getting for half price, basically. Just about. Okay, now I have got I'm going to bring in I'm going to bring in the in color ribbons, because what we're going to do before we finish this, the fun fold or the bookbind part, is to figure out which one do I want. I don't want the blue or the hydrangea hue. I tried that before. I think I like that. The crisp cantaloupe. So do you like the crisp cantaloupe? The green really doesn't go with it. Ooh, that looks pretty. The golden hue. So crisp cantaloupe, golden hue, or see, I'll put these up here where you can see them a little better. The Barely Blush. Do you guys have an opinion? What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Mine takes a few seconds to get in there, so. Okay, I really like that crisp cantaloupe. So we'll go with that. I think we might go with it for both. I'm thinking, yeah, I think we'll do it for both. All right, I haven't opened this, so bear with me. Let me get my snips down in here. There we go. Just get it behind there and pull it off, because I'm going to show you another little nifty trick. I'm going to start with this one. We're going to put this in the back, and we're just going to tie a bow with it. Oops, I might need that over here. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to tie a bow or if I'm just going to make a knot. I think I'll just make a knot. Dun, 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 dun. Where's my snips again? There we go. And just tie that around there. Oops, I think I got it. I didn't tie it tight enough. This is me being picky. So if you're happy with it, that's great. I'm going to tie it a little tighter for me. There we go. I get a little picky. See, that just makes me happy. So that's one. And I think we'll do this one. Once I get enough ribbon here, I'll cut it. This is how I measure my ribbon when I'm doing these. Yep, that looks good. So I want to go about the same distance. Angle it. And then, oops, got a little bit more there. There we go. I've seen some people put a piece of, we'll do that on the other one, other set. There we go. Get my hole there and pull it tight. Okay, that's that. Now for these two, we're going to use those remaining pieces and we're going to put them right along the side first. So I see, well, let's see, let's mark that one about right there. Doesn't have to be perfect because all I'm doing is cutting that end off, lining that up here in my little space, and grabbing my glue. See, look, we've got almost 2 cards done in 20 minutes. And the other ones will be, we're already started on the other 2. And let's get this one, because I like the lighter blue with that. So I'm going to cut off the, looks like they're about, let's see, that is 2. About right there. I'm going to cut off that darker end a little bit more. That looks about right. Yep, that's how I do. That's how I bake too. So then we're going to go ahead and put that at the bottom, but, or do we want to put that at the top? Nope, I think I'm going to put it at the bottom. Because remember, the ribbon's going to go over top of this too. Oops, let's put it at the bottom. Perfect. Now we're going to take our ribbon. And that being a lighter ribbon is definitely going to, oopsie, there we go. Let me get that put down. Actually, I could get this out of the way now because I'm done with it. Okay, I don't need that much. There we go. There we go. Oh, no. Let's see. I think I didn't get my tail, how much tail I want. There we go. That's probably good. Da-da-da. Snips. Angle it. Yep, there we go. And I could always thin these if I want to and move them in the middle, sideways, whatever. Whatever floats your boat on this scenic ocean. And I kind of want it, I do want it to be centered, so that's just where I want it. You could put it at the top, you could put it at the bottom, whatever your little heart desires. Oh, I like that, so that's good. And I like to do things like this assembly line style, because when you're making multiples of the same thing, then it's always good. I don't know if you caught that trick there, because I finally remembered it on the fourth card. But what I did was I took this and went up to the top and took this one and made it almost to about the bottom, because then I know if I'm going in the middle, I've got a tail, and it's the exact distance from top to bottom. See, that's pretty cool, huh? So that's how you can measure your ribbon. I totally forgot about that. I remember things like that at the weirdest moments. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so my fingers are they're starting to remember how I did it. And your hands and your muscles do. They remember. There. I'm going to move that down just a little bit. And since we haven't done this next part yet, we could still do that. And you just kind of slide it, because you could still slide it where you want it. Now, yeah, I did it again. I got that one just a little too loose. Put my little, there we go. Just to be careful not to. There we go. I'm being picky. I'll fix that one later, because I don't want to keep you guys up. We could finish these 3 and be happy. And the only thing I'm not going to do on that one is, okay, now I'm going to bring out the stamp set to you. These stamp set, the Sunset Coast dies and stamp set, are absolutely one of the best I've seen for a sunset, because you could take these stamps here, like the water, and then take this one and stamp in a different color into the water to get the same effect. I'm going to show you that on Tuesday. So that's going to be our technique Tuesday. So if you want to learn how to blend your stamps using 2 different colors, be here Tuesday at 2. So what we need is we're going to do The Adventure Continues, or You Brighten My Day. Which one do you guys want? You Brighten My Day or The Adventure Continues? I like You Brighten My Day, so let's do that. Let's see here. Alrighty. Da-dum-da-dum. There it is. And I gotta say, this card I saw demonstrated by the wonderful Patty Bennett. So definitely take a look at some of her things too. She does a great job. I've learned a lot from her also. And this one, we're going to do a couple different ways here. Now, I think the more I look at this, I think I'm just going to do it this way. You brighten my day. That one's done. Oh, no, we got to do I totally forgot. This is this is the magic. You got to glue, and this helps your ribbon stay in place, and just a little bit of glue on the inside, and you hold that down until that, for a second or so. And then when they open it, it only opens up to that middle point. And then we'll put our white piece in the center to write on. Isn't that pretty? So that's a bookbinding card. So let's go ahead and get this one bound, because we're going to do, I was going to show you that we're going to do, where's the other part of that? Oh, that's funny. I think I lost my other little piece of paper. Well, well, we were going to do that. I wonder if it fell on the floor. I often do that. Nope, not on the floor. It's sitting right here in front of me. I know it is. We'll look through these pieces of other paper here one more time. Just the top ones here, not all 48 pieces that you get for $17. Okay. Don't know where it is. It decided to disappear on me, so that's okay. Because I think these are just as pretty. Uh-oh, what do we got? One turned over here. All right, let's get this flipped over. My ribbon flipped on me and I didn't catch it. It's okay. We just got to get it rolled over. There we go. Almost there. And when that didn't work either, I'll show you what we do. We cut it. And then we fix it. Where there's a will, there's a magical way. And where's my other magic? Of course. There they are. Nope. And we could just glue it too. It'll be fine. Because it'll be fine inside here. Because it's going to be glued down with the I would normally use a glue dot. I just found them. I've been doing a lot in here lately, and so yeah, as you could tell, I got some black on there, but my sheet on the inside will cover that, and the rest is going to be glued, so no worries there. Let me just get my glue dot. Guess I didn't cut off my edge to where I was. There we go. And I'm only doing the glue dot. There we go. There. So that'll take care of that. Oh, nope, here's the glue dot. Didn't go on. There we go. Now it's on. And we just need to connect those two. And then close this book binding up. Flip it over. Hold on to it. Just let that, just hold that for a second. I know, I got to get back in view. I'm just holding down the book binding. Just so that that kind of adheres good here on the inside edge. And there you have it. And see, that'll be covered up so that little black spot won't show. And now we just need to stamp our sentiment. You brighten my day. And I love how it's stamped because it did I didn't get a little great coverage there in the middle, but this is one of those wispy cards. You could kind of feel the words moving through the wind. So to me, that's okay. And I'm going for placement for where I think it'll look best. So this one I'm going to go in the middle. You brighten my day, right above the water line. So there you have it. We've got 3, almost got 4, but I'm just going to be picky and finish this one off on my own. So what we would have had, if everything would have went right, we would have had 4. Let me put these up there a little bit more, and we'll put this away so I don't get black on anything else. We have 4 beautiful cards done very simply and in 38 minutes. That's not bad. It's just something that's simple but beautiful, and you let the paper do the work. So if you want to subscribe, if you like what I do, subscribe to my YouTube, Crafty Girl Creations with Jaylyn Weinel, and on Facebook, Crafty Girl Creations. I'd love to have you. And if you're looking to, get a discount on your Stampin' Up! Products, consider joining my team. I think it's going to be, let me come back to me here. I would love to have you on my team. And, you know, $99 for, plus tax, but for 100 up to $160 worth of merchandise, I'd say that's a great deal. Um, and it's, and then you get 25% discount, 20 to start, and within like 6 months, you're up to 25. So that's always, and it's a big difference. You see it and you also get 10% of everything you order. Like if you order $100, you got $10 in a credit towards your future purchases. And right now I know I've got 30 or $40 in there, and so when I do something special, then I've got that. And that's how, if I'm doing it as a business, that's how I'm going to get my free stuff to give away, so it doesn't cost me much, if anything. I'd really love to have you. So May 31st, either May 30th, I think it's the last day for this, and you get all 5 brand new in colors if you choose with the magnetic. Oh, I took them somewhere. I got to put them back. With the magnetic cases that just open. They're so simple. And they will be putting a lot of other ink colors in those in the next few months, up to a year. I think it's going to take them to get them all over. But come join me. I'd love to have you. So until Tuesday, 2 o'clock. See, 2 o'clock Tuesday, Technique Tuesday.